Welcome back to another episode of the Chaosium House RuneQuest campaign. I'm Jeff Richard, and I'll be your game master tonight. I want to, as always, thank my players, Claudia Loroff, Linda Borgen, Richard August, Philip Glass, and of course, Neil Robinson. Why don't you all introduce yourself and your characters? It is entirely possible that Claudia will be joining us a bit late, so she'll get to introduce herself then.
Hi, I'm Neil Robinson, and I'm playing Nisk, and he is an Orlanth adventurer who is trying hard to, what's the right word, make sense and make wealth during these times of troubles as we deal with occupied prax. Kind of sort.
Occupied, liberated,
yeah, well.
Nisk.
I'm Richard August. I'm playing Garen Grimseaning, a Humac bodyguard, who is an increasingly big fan of Argrath.
I'm Philip Glass. I play Colbrast One Arm, who is a decreasing fan of Argrath because he starts to doubt his strategic prowess a bit. And now, of course, cooped up in his city with nothing to do, which is not something pirates like a lot.
I'm Linda Borgen. I'm playing Nkala, who is was a Stormbull warrior, but through a offline event has now awakened her fetch and become a shaman. Very new shaman, but it's now a shaman. Yes.
Excellent, excellent. Okay, well, Linda, why don't you just go right in and give us a recap of what's gone in the previous sessions?
Okay, last time I think most of us were trying to play house in the beginning, trying to make our big grand house into some kind of functional white bull shrine. We weren't really able to do that because Argrath was a bit, what shall we say, impatient and wanted to go destroy one of the Reaching Moon temples, the biggest one in Dragon Pass. So he gathered all his forces and we went, and of course someone hadn't been paying attention to the moon cycle, so we encountered the Lunar School of Magic on full moon. It was about 40 kilometers or something away from our actual target. That went, how shall we say it, very bad.
I believe the English term is pear-shaped.
Pear-shaped, yeah. The first thing we really saw was all this crimson glow surrounding some mighty, nasty, disgusting Lunars, and Quim, the three-bodied, three-headed giant that sometimes, well, it's a curse of Prax, we hate it. And he started running towards us, tearing bits of flesh from his body, throwing it into the poor Lamaride. High Lamarides who was, of course, the quickest to be there because they run the fastest and are the bravest. And they were just decimated and melted by Quim's body parts. And the crater makers were there throwing meteors on us. And we were crowded by the loons, driving people crazy with lots of madness magic. So I think we lost about half of our people at least before we had to retreat. Problem was really that Argrath, as you might remember, we were ambushed when trying to keep watch over his body while he was meditating, and he used some of his powers to destroy one of the assassins. And due to this, the dragon, which apparently he has some kind of relationship with, could not awaken and face this chaos. So we run away with tails between our legs to New Pavis again. And then the dragon did rise. 8 kilometers of dragon, 200 miles away. And it rose and destroyed everything that was on it. The entire mountain range now flew towards the red moon. And I'm in awe. And that's pretty much where we stopped.
Well, I want to pick this up then. Let's move forward a tiny bit here because, in the wake of, actually, I'm gonna move a little bit forward, but first I want us to do a recap of a flashback. So forgive my disorganization here. Prior to the battle, Nisk and prior to the Dragon Rise, after the battle, Nisk and Inkala went into the Vulture's country with Dakini. Is it Dakini or Dakili?
Dakakil, I think.
Dakakil. Dakakil is the elderly High Lama rider who has been hanging around your guys', I don't know what you want to call it, your house, your villa, your shrine, your drunken
House of the White Bull.
The House of the White Bull. He hangs out there. He's rude to everybody and does no work and ignores you when you try to make him do anything. But he, Inkala, is dutiful towards him. And Dakakil left one day, just got onto his High Lama and rode away. And Inkala very, very quickly went after him on her Lama. And then Nisk came along on his bison. And they left New Pavis. And I think it was more than a week that you all were gone. You guys basically came back shortly before it was time for shortly before the Dragon Rise occurred. Does that sound about right, Linda? That way we don't have these people all sitting on their hands for 2 weeks.
Yeah, no, that works perfectly. Yeah, absolutely.
So where we're going to start things is that the Dragon Rise has happened. And the dragon is still in the sky. And I want you all to stretch your brain and try to imagine what a dragon several kilometers long, flying a few hundred kilometers away must look like. Because remember, there's no curvature to Gloranthan. So there's you see that your horizon, what dictates the horizon is actually diffusion of air. It's not the curvature of the earth. And something 8 kilometers long is going to be able to be seen for hundreds of kilometers. And it just slowly is flying around Dragon Pass. And as a result, right now, the Shrine to the White Bull is very popular. Maybe it's people wanting to call upon the White Bull and offer the White Bull magic so that he can protect New Pavis from this huge dragon, or maybe they want to take advantage of all the beer that you recently acquired from the Garhound clan so that they can just drink themselves into a stupor. But it doesn't really matter.
I hope they've got money.
Some of them do. Some of them, I don't know. What is your policy on payment?
Well, I think that the donation to the White Bull would be a good thing, wouldn't it?
Well, I'm curious your take on this when there's when a one-eyed Praxian points to that and says that's his donation to the White Bull.
Don't know.
There were many hundreds of casualties at the Battle of Hendersford, maybe even thousands of casualties.
I'm not going to turn him right away, but also I don't want him just, drinking all of the stuff and I know they will. So there's a reason why we have bodyguards and we have guys there to help us.
Can we not,
Hey, what was that, Rich?
can we not gesture out to the dragon and say, well, that's his, I think maybe you're even right now, so maybe a new donation might be a good idea.
So has
or we should start educating them on the concept of paying for drinks.
Yeah, Praxians are really good at that.
No, they're not. No, the Praxians are pretty terrible about that. You know, and it even gets worse when there's Praxians that recognize you all, because of course, you know, then they absolutely assume that, well, you're there for, you know, you and he, you guys fought at the same battle on the same side, you know.
You know, but they could always show that if they're a great hunter, they could bring back something to help the White Bull and survive so that we can get beer.
Well, how is your characters reacting to this dragon flying around in the sky? Let's start with you, Philip.
Well, if I remember correctly, the first sort of reaction last time was sort of, you know, oh dear. I mean, the guy is really dangerous, and now he has this ridiculous, huge dragon sort of at his call. You know, it'll be very dangerous times ahead for people who sort of go with him. And but on the other hand, it might you know, heighten the chances that the disaster we just witnessed last time won't reoccur. So it's sort of an ambivalence there.
How about you, Garen? How are you feeling about things?
Well, I had my loyalty to him had never wavered, but I had doubted Argrath's military acumen after we had marched out unprepared into the teeth of a lunar magical inferno. And then to see him achieve this feat, my guilt has made my loyalty go into overdrive. I am fanatically committed. I will not even hear a word against him.
And Kala?
Well, I did have a little bit of a doubt last time, but Nisk did he orated me back into my loyalty. But I have to say, being one of the people who've actually heard that dragon speak to Argrath, I have to say I don't think he's got any kind of control over that thing. It's got its own logic. There's nothing human about that brain. So it's really cool. It's fantastic, but I don't think really Argrath has control. But as long as it kills chaos, I'm happy. Yeah.
Well, I want to introduce our fifth player. Welcome, Claudia. And I believe Claudia has been following the stage directions from our producers. I noticed that the cow patterns.
Very frustrated.
So what we're talking about, the Dragon Rise has occurred, and we're just getting the characters' feedbacks and reactions on that. How is Gina feeling about the Dragon Rise? That dragon is still in the air.
Yes, it's interesting. It's dark, and I try to connect with actually the ghosts on the ground and find out what they think about it.
Well, I mean, most of the spirits, and you have second sight, and in Kala, you always have second sight. You know that the spirits are terribly disturbed by a dragon waking up. They are spirits that are normally quiet are active. Spirits that are normally placid are aggressive. It's something that is, it's not that its presence causes them pain or anything, but the fact that it's awake is like a jolt through the spirit world.
So do they like it or do they not like it?
Well, most of the dead that you deal with, they're kind of past liking stuff and not liking stuff. I mean, most of the dead that you interact with, Claudia or Gina, don't really have strong opinions of what they like or don't like in the world. And those ghosts that do have strong opinions are problems.
Okay, so I then try to calm down the ghosts which have strong opinions.
Okay. And the same thing goes for you, Gina, as well, is that I think I told you this earlier today, is that the spirit world is very agitated.
Okay.
Sorry, to Inkala, I said this.
Yeah.
Was that right?
Inkala, yeah.
Inkala, if I recall, that many of the spirits were very agitated. I believe that's what your mentor told you.
Yep, very agitated. And I can see them all the time now, so I can kind of. Can I interact with them as well all the time, or?
Of course you can in spirit speech. And I want to tell you, you saw what your shamanic ability shows spirit is like.
Yeah.
I want to give you an idea of what follows you around all the time, all the damn time. And you can decide whether this is something that you ever let other people become aware of or not. So you see things like this everywhere you go. Is this showing up?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm seeing it. Yeah, I'm seeing it.
So shadowy shapes, weird spirit forms. And this is what you see. I'll turn it off now. But when you just look around, almost anywhere you go, there's almost always several of the shadowy shapes of those spirits. But there's often a larger spirit. Again, I'll show you the picture of the larger spirit because it's just neat to show off. You see this? You see this guy bigger than all the other spirits, kind of looming above them?
Yeah.
You see that spirit all the time. It doesn't want to interact with you. When you try to get near it, it tends to go away and then comes back and just watches you.
Okay. Do I know anything about it, or is it just something that
you can roll against your spirit lore?
Oh, that's not the big one. That's not my best. That might actually be success. Yeah, 1% below my skill. Yeah.
What you know of this is it's it seems to be some kind of a free-willed spirit. So a spirit that most of the shadowy shapes, those spirits don't have any will anymore. They just kind of float around and they listen to Gina and her songs and her dances. But they and though, if they're forced to manifest in the world, in the mortal world, they can be very dangerous. But they're basically just things that are there that kind of go through the motions of what spirits do. Self-willed spirits are they have their own agendas and their own will, and they can be very dangerous. And you seem to have attracted a self-willed spirit of some sort. possibly as a result of your the big ritual you performed in Vulture's country.
Okay. I'll be aware of him at least.
So yes, and it's kind of creepy. You know, you
Yeah.
wake up in the morning and I don't know. Give this guy a name.
Yeah, it's unnerving.
Let me show you the picture of this guy. Gina, you can sometimes see the spirit as well.
Can I
Are
talk
you
to
the only,
it?
it won't talk to you. But you might want to give it a nickname or something. It'll make it easier to me to call than free-willed spirit.
It looks like a flash lamp.
You want to call it flashlight spirit?
Flashlight spirit, yes. It's glooming on the top.
Okay, okay. The flashlight. Okay. But do we even know what a flashlight is?
Oh, so that's kind of a stupid nickname, isn't it?
It's the lantern. It looks like almost like a, oh, what's it called? A bullseye lantern on top without the, it's a lantern.
Okay.
Yes.
Lantern spirit.
Yes,
Works
it's
for
a
me.
lantern. Yes. Thank you for the idea, Gina.
So
Happily.
it does get kind of freaky in Kala. Lantern spirit, often you wake up in the morning, there's lantern spirit just kind of looking at you. And lantern spirit's probably, I don't know, 3 meters tall.
And then you cannot see the lantern because it's too tall for a room.
Well, he hunches over.
Oh.
By the way,
Still.
does anybody else have second sight?
I think so.
I think so.
Okay, you three, it's just Inkala has gotten weirder and weirder since she returned from Vulture's country. You know, sometimes you see her staring in a corner of a room, just kind of glaring at an empty corner. And sometimes she'll even say stuff like, if you're not going to talk, I'm not going to talk.
So I haven't really noticed much of a difference.
Not that much.
Now she's doing it without the Asia.
Now she's
There
doing
you
it
go.
without
Yeah,
the
exactly.
Hazia. So how about the
Acquired.
rest? What was that?
Just acquired brain damage on the trip. That's how we can just write that off as too much smoking.
Well, one of the things, unless anybody has any immediate things they want to talk or do while the dragon is still flying around in the sky. But if not, the dragon stays in the sky for a week or two. And then one day it's not in the sky. Some people say it landed somewhere in Dragon Pass. Others say that it flew away. For much of that time, it blocked the red moon. So there was a dragon in front of the red moon eclipsing it, which for at least the Orlanth and Stormbolt worshippers probably was generally thought of as pretty cool. But after the dragon goes away, many of the Praxians start thinking that now is the time to return back to their herds. Many of the Praxian warriors.
Good idea. Food
And
is
they won't
always a
drink
good
all our
option.
beer.
What was that?
They won't drink all our beer then. Something
No.
good about it. But it's bad for the army.
And many of the Praxians start leaving, and some of the mercenaries and even some of the wolf pirates. Some of them try to say, well, and are there at the White Bull Shrine and say, we are Argrath needs to do something, because if we're not campaigning, then there's no plunder. And
Yeah,
what are we getting?
right.
What?
Absolutely right. I mean, I'm shocked at how this is handled, this whole campaign.
No
If there's-
faith.
Oh, and you're
less
such a
honor.
great marvel of military prescience and planning.
But me, yeah, you'd be surprised, Nis.
I would, yes.
that attack
would.
on, if I recall, Colbrest, that attack on the old gate, that was carefully thought through.
Yeah, that was brilliant. I mean, it got us into all of this, so come on.
But yes, there's a concern. Some of the, some of the wolf pirates, some of the mercenaries, some of the minor Praxian chiefs are all frustrated because, you all have been now in New Pavis for, you took New Pavis in storm season. You've been there, so sea season, fire season. Now we're into late earth season, and there's been no campaigning, no plundering. And when there's no campaigning and no plunder, there's no treasure coming down to the warriors. So they it's not that they're upset and going, oh, we've been screwed, but it's okay. Well, time to go home.
Or time to do something about it.
Well,
you said you wanted to go to the battle. You could definitely go check that out and see if there's anything there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was an idea. Going back to the battlefield and have a look if we find any clues or other things.
Ghosts.
Or ghosts. Mad ghosts. Probably.
well, is that something that you all want to do?
The battlefield is a big graveyard, isn't it?
Well, thousands of people died there.
Great, let's go there. That's fun.
Yeah. Well, I'd like to find out a bit more to see if Argoth has any, if he's just kind of holed up still. It seems like it would be a good thing to go and check out, because I'm assuming he's still doing that. He spends most of his time meditating and doing things like that.
You guys could go to Argoth's court. You can always do that.
Well, I'll do that first to see what's happening. I'd like to know.
Is anybody else going to come along to the court of Argoth?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Do we have?
Okay.
Can we dress up for that?
If you want.
It's a court. Of course I come. I'm Miss Rullian. I need at least 2 days of dressing up.
Okay.
Oh.
So I'm pulling up another map here. And I will share a screen here. And share screen. Huzzah. Okay, do we have a nice picture of New Pavis with what is misleadingly called Lunar Headquarters and Lunar Barracks? You guys see that?
Yep.
That is now Argoth's headquarters. And the barracks are where his personal followers reside. This is there are several bodies of warriors who are sworn to him. There's the, I believe it's called the Spear Brothers, the Twin Spears, the Sword Brothers, and the Bullocks, which are basically serve as his bodyguard. And they reside in the former Lunar Barracks. And then Argoth has turned the Lunar Headquarters into his palace. And within is Argoth's court. You guys are absurdly loyal to Argoth, so I'm not going to make you have to roll. For most people in New Pavis or even in the army, you can't get, it's not easy to get a audience with the king, which is, by the way, what Argoth is now is generally called by the New Pavisites as the King of Pavis. But you guys can get a an audience with Argrath. So you guys are all kind of heading in there.
Yeah.
We're we're parading in there.
Oh yeah. Is there anything you guys are doing to try to show off or intimidate or look cool?
Yes, I put my horn on.
Okay. Your horn and your dancing dancing garb.
My long fingernail thingies and so on. I'm dressed up. I mean, with nice braids and proper makeup and so on.
I think I'll use my charismatic charm for this.
It only lasts a couple of minutes, so be warned.
You could actually use your golden hooked arm, the fake one.
My golden hooked arm?
Yeah, don't you
Perhaps
have
such
one?
a thing?
Of course, you're a pirate.
Well, I probably should have a golden hooked arm, yeah.
So
I'll bring my awakened raven on my shoulder.
And I will come in my fancy noble stuff, robes that I got, noble clothes that I wore with my armor.
Is this the stuff you stole from the Lunars?
No. I've always had it.
Okay.
I had it because I worked I worked for Argrath before, right? And so, I mean, these are clothes that he's basically given me, or I go around the place. And I probably know all the main bodyguards and people like that anyway. So.
Oh yeah, and give you an idea, by the way, this is his noble clothes is like what a Varangian prince would have had as their noble clothes. It's like silk pants from one land, a cotton shirt from another land. It's this mismatch of international styles. That's the sort of thing that a rich wolf pirate would have. Because hey, those people.
That's where I got it.
Yeah,
he does not belong to me.
Those people in Teshnos, they have cool pants. Exactly. I really want pants like that. They're silk. Have you ever worn a silk pant? Wow.
He does not belong to me.
I don't belong to anyone.
But I just want you to get an idea. He does not look like some Sardarite from the hills. He looks like a international traveler with his Hawaiian shirt.
But it's one of those silk Hawaiian shirts.
Hands
on. I mean, it wasn't one of these cheap press ones. This is like classic. I'll have to wear one for next game.
Exactly. Argrath, anybody else doing anything impressive? Yes.
Not really impressive, but there has been a slight change to my attire, one might say. So I'm walking around now I do have my stolen lunar vambraces and so on, but I'm bare-chested now, wearing but small loincloth made of leather, and that's it. And tattoos and markings and all that stuff. But I used to wear clothes. I don't anymore. I don't think I'm very stylish, Gina. You have to help me.
I borrow you a nice little gemstone covered sniffing box made out of silver and gemstones. So you can put Hagia in, and you can have you put it around your neck, and it has a little bit of coal on the bottom, and then it burns very slowly. The Hagia, so you have always fumes in your nose. It's actually very stylish looking.
Okay, sounds beautiful.
Yeah. It is.
I guess I might as well ask Colbras, Garen, anything you guys are doing to be able to look dashing and impressive?
I'm probably dressed similar to Nisk, being a wolf pirate myself. I would probably have, I don't know, maybe I prefer the very expensive calf leather pants from wherever they make calf leather pants.
Lots of places they might make calf leather pants.
Yeah, but the stylish ones, or shall we say the expensive ones.
Excellent.
And also a flowing shirt and a huge hat with big feathers and all sorts of colors.
Okay, actually, I definitely want to hear the hat. I want to hear your big hat.
Well, it's a hat you put on. It's got a sort of a. I think I had a picture of a similar hat somewhere. I might just be able to show you. Just a second. So, yeah. If you look here, oh no, you can't see it. Sorry, the hat is not on. It's basically it's a sort of like a crescent on your head, like a sort of a mohawk in the wrong way, made of bronze, and then feathers sticking out.
Oh, superb! A sea people's hat.
Yeah.
Oh, excellent, excellent. He looks like a giant peacock, guys.
Oh, great.
It's awesome.
Just more dangerous.
I don't know you guys.
Well, we often don't know you, so fair is fair, I guess.
Excellent. Well, Argrass court is, from a Israelian perspective, absolutely barbarous. There is drinking, eating, naked dancing girls, murderous warriors, Hasia smoking Praxian khans, armed khans, veteran war leaders, priests of war gods, wolf pirates, and favored killers. Basically, they go to Argrass Palace to drink and eat to excess. And there's always some sort of entertainment there to keep them from killing each other, because many of these people have sworn oaths to kill each other when they get the chance. I mean, these are Praxians and Humakti and Orlanthi. These are followers of violent, destructive gods. So the entertainment that is around there, and Israelia is certainly not a prurient land where people, are blush easily or whatnot. But entertainment there almost always has some sort of greater purpose, right, Gina?
Yeah, definitely. Please,
there's
the
culture.
gods.
There's culture involved. Here, the entertainment is drink, food, and sex, which is basically there to keep the various people that are hanging out in the palace from doing stuff even dumber than any of those three.
Bread and circus.
It's bread and circuses. So, Hasia is smoked openly. There's dancers from Teshnos or Fonrit performing to strange, weird music. There's a musician. There's a group of musicians from Fonrit, and then a drunken storm bull pushes them aside so that he can recite crappy poetry. Yeah, your cult's very known for their high quality taste. And there are groups, over in one corner, Narmid is drinking himself into oblivion with his companions. And over in another corner, Zerkio Blue Llama is smoking Hasia with a murderous look in his eyes. I want to get you guys kind of the feeling of his palace. There's all of this stuff going on, the smell of incense, the smell of sweat, the smell of a very good wine that has been spilled all over the floor. And there's servants there just basically making sure that none of the people here go without food. Because again, they expect to be fed. And if the food runs out, they're likely to get cranky with one another. And then finally, on a dais at the far end of the palace is Argrath, who, despite there being dancers trying to get his eye and get his attention by turning things up to 11, the white bull just watches everything impassively like he's stoned.
He probably
That's
is.
the core. What?
Because he probably is.
Because he probably is. The point is that this is a place where there are a lot of folk here that are drunk or otherwise under the influence, that are bored and are dangerous people who are dealing with being bored by getting fucked up. Or watching weird temple dances or whatnot, or hoping a fight will break out. And you all are all also dangerous people and can recognize this vibe going on. It's like going into a bar filled with drunken Hell's Angels.
So we are feeling homey.
Yeah, but not necessarily in a good way.
What does the spirits around Argrath look like now?
Oh, you realize that from now on, I actually have to be writing down a whole list of spirit. I have to start having random spirit, random spirit tables.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. It's your character here. Around Argrath, there are, remember those all those shades. There are many shades. There are also many of these free-willed spirits, all of which are trying to get his attention.
How about making a dance of harmony?
If you want to do your own temple, I mean, in Isrolia, that would be considered very bad form for you to just start a dance while other things are going on here. But here, that seems to be du rigueur. It just how things happen.
Yeah, the thing is that I thought maybe it would break some of the underlying tension. I mean, I have a harmony rune of 85 and I have a death rune of over 90, so.
You're going to do a dance?
You want people to die?
I'm not sure yet.
More like harmony or death.
Yes.
Sit down or die.
Exactly.
So I want to get a kind of a clue with what your characters are doing. It sounds like Claudia wants to do a dance, but I just want to remind you all that this is a court of killers, madmen, and psychics.
Okay, how about that? With my horn of intimidation, I could actually, and my high death rune, I could actually make an intimidating dance. Don't screw with us.
Okay.
How is that?
I think she's asking you, not me.
How would that be?
Ask me. I'm not, no one can make you do anything, but also means I can't make other people do it. That's her choice of what to do.
The problem, though, is that a lot of these Praxians would take that as a challenge. That's what worries me.
No. You have to show that you're stronger. That's how you deal with these barbarians. Yeah, survival of the fittest.
Yeah, but that's exactly why they're gonna challenge it.
Yeah, but think about it. They think we are easy prey.
I don't think
we're easy prey.
No.
I don't think so. But
so then why we're here instead of intimidating them?
Because we're here to talk to Argrath. We want to find out.
We're here to get a little more information.
Yeah, but he's stoned.
If nothing's happening, then nothing's happening. But you can always get some rumors or some ideas. I mean, there's going to be someone who's going to be stupid enough to ask him, hey, what are we doing? How come we aren't going fighting now? And I'm willing to let that happen and kind of learn from it and see from there. There's got to be some information coming up, that kind of an intrigue thing to get more information out.
So you're going to try to do
buddy Rurik there?
Rurik is not here.
Okay. All right.
Is any approach?
I mean, it's not a real party here.
It's not a real party. It's a bunch of of murderers and madmen getting drunk or smoking hasia and being distracted by food and dancers. But you were going to say something, Rich.
I was going to ask, do we see anybody approach?
There are sitting. So Argrath is sitting on the throne on the dais. He's watching everything. He's watching everything. Does not seem actually terribly interested at all on what is going on, but is just watching everything. And he's got around him, he's got warriors from his sword brother bodyguards. This is a bunch of Humacht cultists that have sworn to be bodyguards to him.
So, as a fellow Humachti, I would like to approach one of these in a kind of spirit of comradeship and see if and find out what Argrath intends, if he intends anything.
Well, they say that we will do what the White Bull, when the White Bull decides to act, we will follow. And we're the Sword Brothers.
That is a noble and just end, and one I myself share. How do I join your fellowship? As a kind of roving member.
Well, I mean, it is possible. I can work out what the initiation process is to becoming one of the Sword Brothers. But your biggest problem with it is can you ride?
Yes, I can.
Are you a good rider?
I have 28.
They're a cavalry unit.
I will get better.
You now have a goal, Garrett. You now
I
have
do,
a goal.
yeah. I've got a new GS. Yeah.
But yeah, their whole reaction is very much that the White Bull, the White Bull will tell us where we shall march, and we will follow the White Bull.
Okay. I'll kind of let Nisk know I didn't get anything there.
By about this time, Nisk actually thinks this is kind of boring. He sees someone who's quite impatient and feels that, I'm not sure going to get much more information out of this. He's obviously not ready at a time to move. It'll take a while, so I'd rather do something else. So having been a polite, having what I consider enough time to notice that I'm there, I then don't have an urge to stay for a huge amount of time.
I have a very angry Khan sitting over there that I really want to avoid. So.
Oh yes, Zerkio.
I'm kind of trying to avoid that guy right now.
Your Khan, right? Or Narmid, the Bison
No, I mean my Khan.
Your Khan is not happy with you because you screwed him.
So
what did you do?
She didn't back him.
Oh. Yeah, that would be kind of okay.
So I'm avoiding him.
That sounds a bit as if you would slowly be leaving and then going back to our plan of inspecting the battlefield.
I think so.
Sounds good.
I'm ready to do something else.
Well, actually, at a certain point, before you leave, you get noticed.
We weren't discreet enough.
You who? I? Nisk or Kala?
And the White Bull softly says, but whenever he speaks, everybody shuts up. And he says, it is my priests from the shrine of the shrine of the White Bull.
Priests?
Oh.
Probably even not mockingly, but there's a little bit of my priests, my priests of the White Bull You come to join my. You've come to join my little soiree. Please. I am humbled.
Well, I laugh and bow and say, I thank you for your gracious hospitality, my lord. My king, right? He's king of. And definitely will say that we have been working to foster the support for the White Bull. In fact, and I wonder if I should announce your shamany thing and say like that.
You might actually see it.
Yeah, and we have ventured into vulture country. I have with Ankala to do a better job of trying to bring see if the bull will come and grace the shrine the right way.
Well, he wants to know how you propose to bring the white bull into your shrine.
Well, I do need a magical focus of power. And that is where we're kind of having a bit of a problem right now because we don't really have one, but we're working on it.
Magical focuses of power, it's always so difficult to find the right one.
Yes, very difficult. So that is where we're kind of stopped, but we're not giving up though. We're going to make the bestest, greatest shrine ever for the White Bull in Pavis. So
half of Prax has already sucked beer in your
yeah.
Several of them have even paid for
it.
Well, I mean, this would be a chance if anybody wanted to ask anything from Argrath. This would be a good chance, or it's also an easy opportunity to pay your respects and then leave. So totally up to you guys.
Well, His Grace is so immensely powerful. He might have a nugget of power that we can use as a focus of power.
Or a place he would say that would some of the wise companions about him would tell us a way of helping us, a place we could find something for the White Bull.
Yes, what he said.
At this, Argrath actually finds your entire approach very funny and actually laughs at this. And he says, we are on the outskirts of a gigantic collection of artifacts and magic taken from the giants, from the god learners of the Empire of the Worm's friends, and piled up into mounds just on the other side of those walls. And you ask me to give you an artifact?
Or an idea. We just got one. Thank you.
He said, and at this, Argrath calls for a scribe. He calls for a scribe, and he asks how big the big rubble is. And the scribes are a little bit confused and not really understanding what the question is, and wants to know about how big the big rubble is. And
that's
you guys know what the big
kilometers by is it 5 kilometers by 5 kilometers or something?
Yeah, it's I think it's 5 miles by 5 miles, but okay. gives some sort of amount. And Argrath says, well, that's plenty of room for all my captains, all my chiefs. Draw me a picture of it. He says to the poor Lancor my scribe, a bearded guy named Georgior, who
I have heard of him.
Bearded guy named Georgior with a extremely waxed beard, who has the unpleasant job of being the poor Lankor my priest stuck in this court.
But I have heard he's very competent.
Well, he's trying to sketch out a drawing of the big rubble, and Argrath pulls out a sword, and George goes eek.
He's gonna stab an area if they go there.
Yeah, but actually, I can help him a little bit from the knowledge I got from the ghost. Remember, the ghost I had the interrogation with in front of Argrath's tent.
Yes, but at this point, all George has done is he's drawn these walls and a river going through it, and through some runes to mark out areas. And Argrath just chops the map up with his sword into sections, and he grabs a section of the map that was drawn, that he's cut up, and he says, "There, Nisk, this is yours." And he tells the scribe to put his seal on it and mark it up, and says, "This is yours. Whatever is I give this to you. Whatever is in here belongs to me, and I give it I give you rights to claim it." And he's just given you part of the big rubble, a section of it.
Now,
Okay.
I think Nisk, I've decided Nisk has been into the big rubble once when he was like 12. And it was really scary, and it was on a dare or something like that, or he was able to, there's a few ways to get there. So, but that's all. He doesn't know anything about it, except that it's kind of big and scary. Because he left, Pavis when he was, 14, 15?
That sounds about right. So what I will do, I will cut out the exact dimensions of this, but he has given you guys an allotment or an assignment to a section of the rubble, that part of the map that he has cut out, and he asks George Orr to write down on there with his seal a statement that this is everything in here belongs to you by virtue of or by decree of Argrath Whitebull. And he says, "There, this should solve your problem."
Well, at least for a few weeks, I say.
And he says, tell my other captains who have grown bored to come here, and I will give them their allotment as well. And so thanks.
Well, I'll be very gracious and thank you for that, man. Obviously, as someone who gets bored really easily, he was right. I was bored.
So Argrath has now made you all the lord of a section of map. And
I don't want to be that.
I do, though. It's a great opportunity.
Perfect.
I still think we should check out the battle place if you want, if you want Colbrast, but I think that we also got something else to check in the rubble. I was never, when I was young, I didn't have such great companions that would fight with me and beside me in the rubble.
I'm gonna send you guys. I'm gonna send you guys your copy of the map. But basically, what is in there? I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna share screens with you with a much better map, and then I'm gonna give you next session. I will draw up. How's this for this? This is what you get for asking these sorts of questions, Linda. Okay, do you guys see this?
Yes.
Argrath has a great sense of humor. You can do a lot to him. Yeah. Ooh.
He's your little section of the map includes Griffin Gate, and he's cut the line right down the road that goes from Griffin Gates into the Huntlands, and then he carved it going southeast. Right, so where that road, the roads join, right where the N is, it heads southeast to about the A, and then goes back again towards the big wall. So it
Blind
gives you
King's Hill and Blind King's Castle, an old flint nail fort, would be in our area.
Yep, that's what he gave you. Blind King's Hill, plus the main quarry. And the area around Griffin's Gate, which is marked with Ballastor's Barracks. And given that to you.
And now?
And everything in that is yours, he says.
If you can take it.
Yeah.
Once again, you humble us, Great King.
So there is where he says that you should be able to find an artifact within here that meets your specifications, Zinkala.
Thank you so much. Thank you. We will not disappoint you if we survive this.
I get the feeling that Cobreast One Arm is getting even more dubious about his chieftain's wisdom.
Yeah. He's losing it. I mean, I remember him as the chieftain of the pirates, and he always knew what he was doing and where he was going. And there was lots of plunder, wasn't there, Nisk? And now it seems sort of random.
You think there's more Hazia than there is?
Yeah. Ever since that night when he smoked too much, I think he's, gone a bit off the wheel. Sorry?
Blasphemy.
Says the totally sober, straight edge Humakti.
Yeah.
Did he not raise a dragon? Has he not reduced the empire of the moon to its knees?
Well, we don't know that
We
yet.
haven't been there to have a look, so I can't really say
Well,
yes.
and that's what my question is that you guys have received your certificate or your section of the map, but it sounds like what you really want to do is head out to Hender's Ruins.
I think we want to check that out first.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Do you want to learn how to ride, Garen?
I'm certainly up for that.
You have to
Hope
learn.
you don't fall off a bison. Is that what hourglass men ride, by the way? His Humakti to learn to ride bison?
We can strap him onto the bison so he does not fall down.
Bison or zebras.
Okay.
Definitely bison.
Okay. Well, with that, so you guys' plan is to head out to across Prax to Hender's Ruins?
I think so.
Yeah.
Okay. Then what I would like to do is take a very, very short break.
Okay.
So I can think about that for 5 minutes.
Okay, I'll pause it, recording.
And we are back after a very important refreshment break. So it's about 200 kilometers from New Pavis to Hender's Ruins. You think it'll take somewhere between a week and 10 days to get there. And assuming you have a guide, because how well do you know the plains of Prax?
You've actually already been there, so
You have been there.
we might remember the way.
You might remember parts of the way.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean,
As part of
I
I think
might
you'll
have
get-
forgotten vital parts, of course.
I suspect you will be able to get general details like we should head west and then at some point go southwest. But traveling across the desert, you might want to have a guide.
Mm.
So the first question is, how well does Nisk have Prax lore?
Nisk has it at probably not as well as our shaman, but Prax lore, it's in the location.
Yeah. You might
does
not
this
have
count as
it-
my homeland lore, considering I was
It's
two when I left Sarder.
your
my
homeland
homeland?
is Pavis County.
Okay, so I've got a pretty good Pavis County lore, and apparently I didn't learn anything the entire time I was exiled in Arkham.
Which is actually entirely possible. You were probably not taught, where all things were. You just traveled along with everybody else. You were already an adult. You learned how to survive there.
I learned how to, what else? I guess manage things, so I'm probably in charge of some stuff, but not in directing. In college, you know how to get us there? You're muted.
That's exactly how Incala would answer.
So in college, can you get us
I
there?
will try. I really have no clue. I rolled a 97. I'm clueless. Absolutely, completely clueless.
So yeah, we need a guide.
There might be a fumble even.
So you
No,
might think you
no.
might know.
So you think you
97.
know?
No, 97 I think might be just outside of fumble
How
range.
bad is your skill?
It's 40.
Oh, it's not quite a fumble.
Yeah, I think it's almost.
Almost a fumble. 1 point above fumble.
Yeah.
I think you guys need a guide.
Well, I will say that I know a lot of friendly Praxians who drink my beer and call me friend. And maybe one of them knows a lot about travel, who's brave enough to go out to the old battle location.
I'm going to give you 3 options. All right, three options. There is Hasak, the bison rider. Hasak loves you guys. He's been drinking your beer for free for the last 3 seasons. That's why he loves you guys. He's a bison rider who regularly goes across Prax to Swenston, probably to get more beer.
Okay.
Right? So the key things about Hasak is he knows his beer. He loves you guys for giving him free beer, and he's been along the way before.
Okay.
Other than that, you've got no idea how competent he is or not. There is also Ranier, the sable rider who often hangs out there. Ranier, is a skilled warrior and is familiar with the paths between Pavis and Swenston. So so that would be basically the path across Prax that you guys are going to have to go through. He's competent, but he is also a sable rider.
Mm-hmm.
And do I really need to say anything more than he is also a sable rider?
Is that a problem for any of us?
Well, sable riders, who do they side with?
They sided with the Lunars.
Yeah, so they did.
And there is also Wahatal. And Wahatal, despite his name, is an Impala rider. And the Impala rider, so he's probably got a size of 6. He is very talkative and very hyperactive. He likes to talk about things that you all have no interest in whatsoever, like I don't know, various types of vegetation in the Praxian chaparral, different words for sand, Minecraft, various other things that hyperactive Impala riders talk about. Basically, you're dealing with my son. And he's an Impala rider. So you get to pick one as your guide. You have 3 options.
Can I make an insight check to see if any of them are completely blowing smoke and their knowledge of things? About how to get there? I fail. So I
they're
can't really
they're all Praxians. Of course, they know Prax like the back of their hand. That's what they're told all the time. Although it should be pointed out that the bison rider often wears van braces over his hands, so we might not actually know the back of his hand particularly well. Okay, so which one do you want as your guide?
Okay, anyone have recommendations?
Out of character, a sock sounds great. In character, I am not going anywhere with a man who drinks that much. You cannot trust him. He has no discipline. My option would be Wahatol.
So we have a problem then, because that one I think will jabber so much I'll want to kill him.
I just have to restrain yourself a bit, because I think he's the best option as well. He might be quite interesting if he talks about interesting things,
I think that's a big if.
Well,
Gina, how excited are you to be traveling with a small, hyperactive Impala rider?
Can he dance?
I don't know. Maybe.
I think the Impalas do not stink as bad as the bisons.
No, they don't stink as bad as bisons.
So, and
they don't spit.
I do not like lunars, so that's the reason why sable do not count. So I don't know if I like these pygmies. I mean,
I got nothing against the sable rider, to be honest. But there's a couple here. Someone hates the bison, or is concerned about the bison. Another one doesn't want to have the
bison
sable.
stink. I'm sorry. I don't want to smell like a bison, but I think a sable is not much better.
Bison are just bigger. We have 2 bison that are going with us.
God.
So, the stink will be there anyway, regardless of who is the guide.
I mean, then I think we have to go for the bison, because otherwise Impala guy gets trampled by the 2 bisons.
And the high llama. We have a high llama with us too.
Why are so guys? Why don't you know where to go? Why do we need a guide? You are from here.
I've never been really, honestly.
No.
I've never been west of the river.
Yeah,
I've only gone south through a maelstrom to
how about asking this nice Lankomai priest?
A book dude? Why would I do that? He doesn't know anything about it.
He told me that he was already in the rubble.
We're not going to the rubble. We're going to this bay. This battle.
Whatever.
Had any of them been at the battle? That's the question.
No. These guys?
Yeah.
I'm sure all of them have been.
All of them were at that battle.
Yeah.
How many have they killed? I want to have the one with the highest head count.
That is the Sable Rider.
Then we take the Sable Rider.
He's a lunar sympathizer.
No, he has
What's he
killed
doing
lunars.
now?
Did he fight on our side? Do we know?
He probably, given where he is, but Inkala and Nisk both make a Praxian culture lore.
Yeah.
Did you succeed?
Yeah.
No.
My culture is pretty good.
Nisk, you know that the other Praxian tribes have a saying, never trust a sable. The sables have the ability to switch sides on a dime.
No
And
honor.
They are notorious for switching sides to whatever side will win as a result of their assistance.
That battle.
How many of his kills were stabbed in the back?
Okay.
In the back?
So no sable.
Unless we plan to just always be on the winning side as well.
Well, we plan it. It doesn't mean it always happened, does it? We planned to be on the winning time. The last time we went to that battle, we weren't.
Yeah. Whose fault was that? Anyway, let's
All right.
pick one.
So it's the Impala Rider or the Bison?
I say the Impala Rider.
Impala.
You want the Impala as well? Impala?
I'm pretty like either or on those two. Both of them will be annoying. One will stink of drink all the time, and the other one will talk too much. But I'll just be on the back, and he can jabber to you guys, and I can just hide out, a little behind or in front. So I won't kill him then.
Okay, I'm fine with the Impala Rider then for this trip.
Oh, Wahatal offers a very, very reasonable rate. He wants 1 silver lunar per day.
Mm-hmm.
He wants you to provide him beforehand for you all to pay for all of the food that he wants you, food and water that he wants you to bring.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys provide all the supplies.
How much can he eat? I mean, he's like...
We probably eat a ton. Hyperactive.
He's got this, he's actually a pretty strong athletic guy, but he's got a nice big belly because he's a hungry Impala. He's like he can eat. He's definitely the taco king of our group.
So this means you have to put him on a diet?
He's not fat, but he's got a belly.
Okay, what else does he want?
And other than that, he wants a full cut of anything you take. So a full share.
He's going to fight. Because they have like little bows or what do they fight with?
They fight. Actually, he points out that they fight with what's called what your people call the Praxian bow, which is a recurved composite bow. And he wagers that if there is an actual fight, and not one of your sword brother duels, but an actual fight like men have, he wagers he can kill more than any of you.
Sounds like a challenge.
Yep. That's what Wahatal says. And Wahatal then talks about the various different types of bows.
Interesting.
And goes into great detail on the various different types of bows. And then from there, wants to talk about the various different types of stuff you can make the strings for the various different types of bows.
So
He's a talker.
He brags about killing people in actual fights using a bow.
Yes.
So not eye to eye, steel to steel, blade to blade. And
no, he will tell you flat out that he will tell you flat out only idiots and trolls fight that way.
And only cowards and children use bows.
I bet half of them die from boredom when he talks to them. That's how
this is going to be a great expedition. Set up for
You asked for Wahatal, you get what you asked for. That's all I'm saying. I listened to you guys. I said, okay, we could have the quiet drunk. We would have been fine. But this guy may be a great warrior, and let's go find out.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Wahatal is very, very proud of his Impala, which he has a.
It's a beautiful Impala.
It is. It is. Its name is Hoppy.
Oh, great.
Hoppy.
Almost
Hoppy.
like my llama whose name is Opie. What is
Yes.
this?
Hoppy and Hoppy. That's great.
Opie and Hoppy. Okay. Yeah.
And yeah, Wahatal all the way. Oh gosh, I think it's 2 or 3 days travel across. I'm going to pull up a map here for you guys for just a quick moment. You all need to take. There it is. Too many applications. I blame the fact that I now have 4 different meeting applications up for this.
Yeah. It's kind of bad.
It's horrible. Okay, do you guys see this? There's the big rubble, New Pavis.
Yep.
The first bit is, according to him, is that you all need to head across the area called the Long Dry to the Dwarf Knoll, which he says is a hill with an area called with copper caves in it. We won't go onto the knoll because that's bad luck. Very, very bad luck. But we will go over there. It'll take us 2 or 3 days to get there, and from there, it should be less than a week to Hender's Ruins. But the Long Dry is exactly as described. It's long and it's dry. And has anybody ever actually been in the desert in real life?
Depends on the desert.
You have been, Claudia.
Depends on what you call a desert.
I would consider the Sonora Desert, the Mojave Desert, and the Great Basin to all be deserts. And you've been to all 3 of them. Do you remember how bleak those deserts were? Rocky, stony. This is not something that there's even a lot of chaparral. And this is late autumn, so it's still hot. And this has been after 2 seasons of no rain. So it's a tough ride for you all. I want everybody to make a ride roll or suffer or
survival.
No, ride.
Success.
No, I'm bad at riding.
I'm terrible at riding.
You fumble on my bison?
Bad.
You're never riding a bison again.
98.
Garen fumbled.
Yeah.
Oh, 7.
You succeed.
Yes. Oh, I'm riding like I've never ridden before.
Which is quite true.
Yeah, I didn't make it.
If you have a skill above 50%, I'm not even going to make you roll for it for this. If you have skill under 50, I'm going to make you roll. You fumbled, Nisk. Claudia succeeded. How about you, Colbreast?
I didn't succeed.
Okay. So, Colbreast, but you got just an ordinary fail, right?
Yep.
Until you get a couple of days of rest not on your animal, you are effectively 1d3 hit points less than usual. So would you roll that right now?
Mm-hmm. Oh, 3 hit points. Great.
Yeah, you're down 3 hit. I mean, you're
Yeah,
basically
it's horrible. Why did I ever think of going there anyway?
you're dehydrated. You're in pain.
Terrible.
You have muscle ache. You have back ache from all of this. And then there's Garrett, who fumbled. I would like you to roll 1d3 plus 3.
That is a 5.
You're also until you get a couple of days where you just get off this damn animal and walk around. You're also effectively at 5 hit points less than usual. And the idea here is you're already so screwed up with your back and everything else than that. It's just easier it would be you're weaker in combat, you know it. And you're right now suffering under a minus 20% penalty on physical activities. And again, if this sounds like I'm being harsh, has anybody done much writing in the real world?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay. Can you? Most of us, when we've ridden, have probably ridden in nice, comfy environments on a nice animal that is very placid and relaxed in relatively easy terrain, right? You're riding on a frickin' bison, Garen. A bison. It's not a pleasant animal. Imagine how wide you have to have your legs all the time.
I'm reconsidering joining the Sword Brothers.
This is awful. You are, and do you know what saddle burn is?
Yes.
You've got saddle burn. Everything that you have ever heard about people complaining about riding, Garen, you're having it right now. Now, the good thing about it is, with a couple of days rest, you'll be completely recovered. But it takes you 2 or 3 days to get to the Dwarf Knoll. And after getting through the long dry, and there's no real activity here because this is just a big rocky hill in the middle of the desert. There are known to be caves here, but he has you guys camp on the other side. His plan is to camp one night here.
Mm-hmm.
That is not enough to have you recover Colbrast or Garrett.
Mm.
Is it
Not
worth
for you, it's for the animals.
Yeah, it's just for the animals. It's just enough time for you all to be able to deal with it.
Got to go look after this bison. What did you do to it?
What did it do to me? It's broken me.
Yeah, you guys need to decide. Garen and Colbrast are not looking good. Do you continue on, or do you stay a couple of days at the Dwarf Knoll?
I would have to roll again then. No, we go on.
How much does vigor help?
Does what? Oh, he's
Vigor, the spell. Vigor.
Oh, vigor. It's short term.
Yeah.
Vigor increases your vigor increases your constitution by 8 or something, but it's only a few minutes. It's just 2 minutes. It won't help for this. It'd be good in combat.
Put a schnitzel under your butt.
We can at least cast heal on the saddle burns and stuff, right?
Actually, I have first aid. I can put together an ointment.
Yeah.
Usually what I use for corpses to make them smooth. I can use them for the...
Smooth as a corpse.
I'm not dead, Tina.
Not
you
yet.
sure?
Your butt is?
The Humaku smells of embalming fluid. I love it.
All right, so you're
I
gonna
massage some ointment into their butt. No, they massage it on their own, but I provide them some ointments.
Claudia, I will let you try a first aid to see if you could help them a little bit.
I need my character sheet now.
I don't have a character sheet. I gave it to you.
Yes, you
Oh.
have it.
Oh, I do. Why don't you come over to the other place?
Can you come over, please? Pretty please.
GM.
Yes.
Your first aid is 70.
No, I don't make it. But can you make my check, please, for my writing? That's very important.
I will bring your character sheet
I don't
over.
know when I ever will do that again, that I have actually success in writing, so.
Hey, gang. By the way, this is part of the joys of internet gaming. I'm going to walk over to the other room and hand my laziest player her character sheet.
I'm not your laziest player. Can you also bring a pencil?
So, shall we stay? Shall we ride on?
I think we can keep going.
Mhm. You don't look as if you really thought that, Garen, but
I
be honest. You walk strangely, and
Colbert, so do you. Not as strangely as him, but you're probably riding a zebra.
Yeah, but I would actually vote for staying here for a few days. But
well, I mean, if Colbrast feels we must stay here for another couple of days, then I feel it would be remiss of me to
do we think we have enough supplies?
probably
You tell me, how crazy did you guys go on purchasing or not?
I'm generally pretty careful about it. That's one of the things. If we talk about what I used to do in the waste was, I assume that the fact that I have a pretty good, actually a very good managed household was actually that sort of stuff I did for the exiles in that were with Argrath. So I think I'm actually pretty good at that area.
Oh, good. Roll against your survival.
And at sea, you always sort of calculate for lulls and things.
Okay, my survival is, I will succeed. No.
Okay, you have enough. And here's the other thing is that in another 3 or 4 days, you should be at the Oasis of Moonbroth.
Can I make a comment?
Yes, of course you can.
As I am now I'm a shaman now. I can basically just get whatever spells I want.
Yes.
So detect water is I would
detect water is an awesome spell.
Yeah.
It's amazing more people don't pick detect water.
Yes. So I have picked detect water because I was kind of thinking these people don't know how to survive in the desert. So yeah, I'll cast it and go on a search.
I'm not going to make you have to roll on this because you got detect water. You can cast it over and over again during the course of the day.
Yeah.
And we're not rushed for time, are we?
No.
With you guys here, you will be able to find a source of water on the dwarf knoll. So you're going to be there for would you roll, Claudia, 2 or 3?
2.
It will take 3 days for him to recover. I was pulling the evil double bluff. You're there for 3 days for Colbrast or Garen to be able to recover. In that, what I would like is, I would like Garen, because he's the source of luck. Roll a 1d100 for my.
Is he known for that? I can't remember.
Oh, 28.
All right, so the biggest issue that you guys have while you're have your camp over by the Dwarf Knoll is I would like you all to make a listen roll.
Yep.
Nope.
That's a 3 of 49.
Oh, wow. Okay. There is a pack of hyenas. They're not, there's too many of you guys for them to be willing to try to come into your camp. But there's a pack of them that have decided that maybe if you guys ever move, if you leave this camp or leave anything around, maybe there will be some food or something they can go for. But there is a pack of hyenas that decide that they're going to follow you all. And I don't.
Do I like hyenas? I don't think so. Do I?
Nobody likes hyenas.
Because they eat the dead.
They eat the dead. They're horrible animals. They eat everything, and they're very, very dangerous.
But they're not swines.
No, they are not swines, and they're not an earth animal.
Is there that myth? I mean, there's a myth about them.
Yes,
I know it.
Well, roll against your cult lore.
Oh, no problem.
So hyenas are cursed according to the Lightbringers, and that hyena skin. There is one of the sons of Isseres was cursed with the duty of trying to reconstruct the god Gennert, who used to be the ruler of Prax when it was a glorious, fecund, fertile garden. He was destroyed by chaos, but the hyenas ate parts of him. And the idea is that every hyena has swallowed and stolen a little piece of Gennert, and they are the reasons that, at least at some level, that Prax is not fertile. And so there are some Lightbringer cults that will just kill hyenas on sight to try to do a favor for Isseres.
Is Orlanth one of those cults?
Orlanth is a Lightbringer. Orlanth is the leader of the Lightbringers.
So does he kill?
So we have to kill.
It's not a cult obligation. It's just what some cultists, some members of the cult do. On the other hand, hyenas are actually really dangerous animals. They do, just to give you an idea, their bite is one of the most powerful bites in the animal world. Does 1d6 plus 1d4 damage.
Jeez.
They can lock on them and stuff too.
And having been on sea all my life, I probably don't really know about hyenas anyway. So
No,
strange animals with 4 legs
And do you guys know what a hyena laugh actually sounds like?
Yeah, it's terrible.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to play this and see if this is this coming out?
No.
That's unfortunate. It's an awful sound, but it sounds like this creepy laugh, and you can hear it for kilometers.
And these are the guys hanging around that are going to follow us?
And they are hanging around, basically trying to keep outside of 100 to 200 meters from your camp. But they stay there.
Well, I guess it depends on when we're going to go leave. if they we should talk to our guide here. If we should, if they're going to try and follow us, then that's a problem.
Mm.
And we'll need to drive them off.
Well, Wahatal says, "Oh yeah, hyenas. They're terrible animals. They're terrible things. If we could ride fast, we can outride them. They give up. They're lazy animals."
Well, I can outride them. And Kala can probably outride them. There we go.
But he asks whether you think your two companions are able to ride at all. Can they?
They haven't shown it much yet, have they?
Actually, to be honest, no. This is Wahatal's opportunity to show his worth. He just kind of rides towards because you complain about them. He rides out on his Impala towards them, and just starts shooting his bow at them, because he's actually quite good with his bow. And even though hyenas are fast animals, they are not as fast as an Impala. And he drives Wahatal by himself with his awesome archery. Kills. Nisk, I want you to roll 1d6.
Uno.
He kills one of the hyenas, and that's enough to get them to run off. And he goes back. He goes back up to you, Garen, and he goes,
Any man can kill dumb animals. Let's see you in a duel with a man, and then we shall see who is the mighty warrior here.
Hey, by the way, he's size 6, Garen.
I'm liking this guy now. It's a good pick. He's definitely a warrior. I think we're doing all right with him.
Yeah, he's okay.
I'm more willing to listen if you can tell me a little bit of stuff about the trail.
We just have to be very careful that Garen doesn't go out hunting hyenas.
With the saddle swords I've got, the only thing
I love the fact that the irony is of this party, Garen is the killing machine.
No, he's not. Maybe he's a thinker. He's actually secretly he's making poems.
Is that Gina's new belief about Garen and his saddle sores?
And he's maybe shadow dancing with his sword or something like that.
Oh, poor Garen. Okay, so let's begin the next section of this, which is, I'm going to put this on the screen again. And that is the travel from, is this showing up? So you see Dwarf Knoll, and are going to head all the way across to the oasis of Moonbroth. And Wahatal tells you it's very important not to head too far to the south until we have gone past the dead place. We don't want to go to the dead place. That would be very bad. And nobody asks what?
Just out of curiosity, why would that be bad? I mean, obviously the name has a certain ring to it, but what is there?
He tells you that the dead place is where Stormbull was thrown to the ground by the devil, and Aritha gave up all the powers of life in the earth there to be able to heal Stormbull, so he could continue to fight against the devil. But within there are no spirits. There is no magic. there is no water, and the very air is poisonous.
Okay, let's stay far away.
Is there any way to sort of notice beforehand that we are
You'll
there?
recognize what when you are in the dead place, but it is best to stay a good distance away. So I want one more dice roll from Lucky One Arm. As you guys are heading from Dwarfenol to Moonbroth, we're going to have one more random event. And Philip,
Okay.
I'd like you to roll the dice because you're almost as lucky as Garen.
Yeah, let's have a look. 17.
Okay. With that, first I want you guys to make your roll on ride.
46, success.
Ooh, 13. Success.
You learned something, Garen.
Don't be tense all the time. You're so tense. Relax, and
Like
soften
your body
the spot.
sink into the
Be one with the
saddle.
bison.
Yeah, I didn't make it. It's just this land traveling thing just doesn't work for me at all.
How about you, Gina?
Oh, for me, it's fine.
You succeeded again?
Yes, I'm very lucky today.
All right, so let's go Colbrast 1d3
Yeah.
to general hit points.
That would be a 2.
All right. The main thing that happens that you all have to deal with is you're crossing Prax through this region, is that you can see a band of about, you can see a band of about a half dozen sable riders.
You should have gotten with the Sable Rider.
Or not.
There's 6 of them.
Pocket.
There's 6 of them. There's 6 of you all.
I have my horn of intimidation.
How far away are they?
They are, once you guys really become aware of each other, I'll say that you guys are about 250 meters away. So that's the question. They're watching you all. They're sable riders.
We can't trust them.
It could be scouts.
What would they be doing here in the middle of the desert?
They're Praxians. They live here.
Well, not here, but
I don't know.
who would want to live here? Come on, you're just pulling my leg.
Hey, you're offending me here. This is a
You're not
wonderful
living
place to
here.
live.
You're not living there. You left.
Well, in Kala.
I grew up here. Well, not here, but to the east anyway.
Yeah, Prax is the sacred land of the Praxians.
Yeah, but you left.
Exactly.
That's where left Prax. You're still in Prax.
All right, so the Sable Riders, they form up a little bit and they begin to slowly move towards you all. Not like they're about to charge, but more like they're trying to scope you all out and size you up.
Okay, well, we'll do this. I'll do the same. Want to see what they...
I have to make a short break, yeah, Jeff?
Okay.
Yeah, I have to. We'll be back.
Don't leave. Just
Sorry.
yeah, just don't leave. Just leave it. Just we can cut that out. Just yeah, put your thing head away.
All right,
Otherwise,
so
it changes all the layout.
there's a group of 6 Sable Riders, and they're slowly trying to gain on you all. And one of them, their leader, puts up his spear, but more as if he wants to parley.
Okay, I'll go parlay a little bit.
You
Up a
know,
javelin.
Come alongside you as.
Well, if we both go, then they're going to bring another guy, right? So just be aware of that. And you can't ride.
I'm already on your bison.
I know. I fear for the bison.
Well, I'm happy for any break, so I'll just wait here.
So I'll go up and see what I'll go. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going getting close to him, getting near where he is, in terms of that, right?
So there are 2 Sable Riders that ride up to you and Garen, male and female, and the Saber Rider. Let's see if he can speak any. Oh yes, he can speak Praxian, obviously. He says something in Praxian. Can you understand Praxian?
Of course, I can understand Praxian.
How well?
No problem. I rolled a 45. It's like 60 something.
Oh yeah, you've got no problem following him. Your Praxian is as good as his. He's curious who you are heading through Prax. He says you ride bison, but are not bison riders, and you have one of the High Lama people with you. Who's your Khan, or do you serve one of the new kings?
I serve the new king, Argrath. I'll look at him carefully, seeing if he flinches at that.
Asks, which one is he? Is he the one in Swenston, or the one in Johnstown, or the one in Baldham?
He is none of those. Argrath is the man who formed the White Bull, where people of all monks. When I point back at the High Lama.
Oh, he recognizes the White Bull.
He says,
he goes,
Argrath is the White Bull. He who brought Jaldan Toothmaker and reclaimed Pavis for the Praxians.
He says that he was not at the battle he was not at the battle of the last moon victory, which is what they call that battle.
Yep.
This is, but I understand that the White Bull was badly hurt.
That is a lie.
You would understand wrong.
The White Bull was not hurt. The White Bull was busy summoning the dragon. And you saw the dragon, didn't you? The thing that came out of the sky, no one could miss. That destroyed the lunar temple, that crashed that areas and changed mountains and tackled the moon.
He said yes.
Injured Argrath? No.
He says yes. The new lunar temple is no more. It was destroyed by the dragon, and so were all the priests. He says, I am Josh Farr, Wild Bow. This is my kinswoman, Delenda, ex-sister. That's the woman that rides with him.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, I believe that without the that since the new lunar temple is no more, and given that the kings in Dragon Pass have now said that they rule themselves, he says, I have a proposition for you. What is your name? Servant to the White Bull.
My name is Nisk. Some call me the Lucky.
Well, Nisk, there are 6 of you and there are 6 of us. And up until a few days, up until the dragon devoured everything, I would say that it would be foolish for us to try to take the rich goods that the Lunars had put in moon broth. This is the oasis just about a day away from here. This is perhaps together we could take whatever is left there. I would take half for myself and my tribe, and you could take half for you and your tribe.
Okay. Would I know that Moonbroth was typically held by Lunars? That's true, right?
Yes. With a name like Moonbroth, it kind of sounds Lunarish.
And there was a big battle there earlier, right? Called the Battle of Moonbroth.
Yes.
I don't know, we had 2. Can't remember.
He's offering that you all ride into Moonbroth and together kill every soldier that's there and take whatever you can. And we'll pile it up into a pile. I take half and you take half.
Okay. Can I try and use my insight to see what I think about this guy? Okay, that's a 23. So far better than trying to judge our guards. That's a success.
He seems to be trying to use this as an opportunity to show that, well, I'm a young, charismatic man and a good war leader. And, there are people on my side that I wouldn't raid because they were too strong and they were on my side. And they're no longer strong and they're no longer on my side. Why don't we raid them?
Well, interesting. I don't think that I'm not opposed. It seems reasonable. I would think that.
Yeah, he basically offers you all. And he makes it clear. I have no beef with the White Moon. He with the White Bull. The White Bull was blessed by Jaldan. May Jaldan be praised. Why don't we take the oasis?
Let me talk to my companions. I'll come back. I'll be right. We'll come back. Your plan has merit, I say. So I'll wander back and we'll ride back. And on the way, Garen, I'll tell you what we talked about. Because I don't think you speak Praxian, do you?
I've got 25 in Praxian.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
so
you can kind of follow this.
Okay,
yeah.
So I go and I mentioned it to Nkala, who might be kind of more nervous about the Sables. And Colbrast and Gina and such, that this is an opportunity.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
Yay, Colbrast is piracy.
Nick,
Garen.
what are you waiting for? Yeah, it's
Garen,
too long to be on a pirate ship.
They go in first. I do not trust Sable Riders.
I think we go in together as opposed to first. But I can. Yeah. You're right. We're not going to ride in and have them on the side and do anything. It doesn't make any sense. And we wouldn't do that. Garen, if there is an opportunity here for you, if you can do it, there's supposedly honorable magic that Humat can do, which can help us with making deals with people like this that are of dubious intent. Can you do that?
I mean, it doesn't seem like a very honourable pursuit, raiding a fort
No,
like this.
it is a chance to get
But,
revenge against the Lunars. And I already know that we have got valuable information to tell Argrath. We may learn more from here.
and I shall do everything I can to aid you.
Have you the ability to bind him to an oath?
You have the oath spell.
No, I
Yeah.
don't have the oath spell. I'm pretty sure I don't know.
It's a rune
Everything
spell.
I've got is combat oriented.
Yeah.
You have no honor.
All I have is honor.
Oh,
Honor and battle magic.
No.
all
Well,
right.
guys, then that is where I would like to stop this for tonight. And next session, I think will be all about the raid on Moonbroth. I want to thank everybody for watching the show tonight. And I want to thank everybody for all my amazing players for being awesome and taking this completely in a different direction than I expected at all tonight. And that's why players are awesome. Neil, is there anything I'm supposed to add?
Yes. Thanks again. And if you like it, please watch more shows on YouTube or Twitch from Chaosium and subscribe and like. Thanks again.
Exactly. All right, guys, tune in next week.
Bye.